All right, now I'm scrambling to get my winter projects done because it's 73 degrees out in New York in April. Okay, it doesn't look like it's almost done, but it actually is. Okay, these came in. These are my adjustable shocks now. This should work pretty decent. Should be basically a direct replacement for those Speedway ones I had in there. These are 19-way adjustable for compression and 19-way adjustable for rebound. Okay, got this one put together. Pretty simple. So with the rebound still sort of in the middle, it should be able to still plant that tire with some anti-squat. But with this compression turned way up, it shouldn't be able to bounce the tire back up like it was doing. Okay, it's halfway through February and this Corvette's still ain't out of here yet. So I'm taking this home. Got to add a little more gas again. Whole idea was to have this empty so I could take it out, but I'm going to drive it home because we've had really mild weather lately and the roads aren't bad. So this trunk has had a water leak that's been driving me nuts in the rain all the time. I figured it was something I didn't seal up very well. Nope. There's some water right there. So it's just a freaking spoiler that I haven't touched. Oh, it feels so good to drive this thing again. I missed it. Did you miss the race car? Me too. Look how terrible these things look. This is white grease that I had to spray in there to get rid of all the clunks. All right, one down, one to go. You can see, if I'm up here, I got the new shocks a little shorter. And the reason for that is so I can actually get some more preload on this spring itself. And I can always adjust where I need to be on my coilover mount on the back. All right, got those coilovers in there. Viking double adjustables. Oh, so you can actually see them. And I turned them all the way down. And there's actually some bounce again. I had them turned all the way up just out of curiosity, and it was like solid with no bounce at all on little bumper bounce tests. Now they're at nothing. So I should be able to adjust them right where I need to be. So I'm going to try this again. This is the stock shift knob to replace this cue ball. And I don't know if you can see in there. I jammed a 3/8 nut in there so that I can put this thing on there and hopefully have that work. All right, there. Oh. Yeah, that looks pretty damn good right there. So I'm thinking blue Loctite instead of a jam nut, and we'll send it just like that. Loctite is done, and hopefully my plan, if I need to get this off, is that I can get to these bolts. Yeah, that'll work. I can make that happen. So I can still take this whole shifter off as an assembly, not have to screw around with getting the Loctite off of there. And I think that'll work. Guess we'll see. All right, let's fix this leaky trunk here. I might want to clean it up first. Don't tell the kiddo that I stole her Valentine crafts to make little gaskets for the spoiler. And get rid of the water leak that's been annoying me. Yeah, I tore this thing apart because it would leak and leak and leak and leak. Brake fluid all over that floor mat. You see it's pretty much ruined. And when I took it apart, I saw that the fluid stayed right there and this part actually dried out. So it leaked until it got to that point and stopped leaking because this seam split. You can't really see it right now. Hard to show on the video here, but that seam split because this was an AFCO reservoir and that's a Tilton master cylinder. So I'm going to buy a Tilton reservoir from Summit, and that should be an easy fix here. That's pretty nice that it was that easy. Okay, I lied. It still had to come out because the reason I was having so much trouble before with trying to use my little line lock deal where I locked out the back brakes, because I don't have enough clearance here and I cannot get to this at all when it's still installed. Okay, I despise brake fluid, but now I have the clearance I need here. So I got like exactly 1/8 inch. Oh yeah, here you can see that split a lot better. Okay, so I'm putting in an electric defroster here because the windshield was terrible on rainy days. And this Chinesium already freaking broke in half. So I think I can use some of that aluminum ducting tape to put it back together, but that'll give me something here where I can sort of have a defroster for the windshield at least. Okay, I don't like how this coolant temp sensor gauge here, it's like full hot at like 1/8 right here, and the fan comes on before 1/4. It's ridiculous. Apparently that's like a common OBD2 thing on the 96 Berettas. So this is an old gauge cluster I've got from an older Beretta, and I'm just going to swap this thing over and see if I like how that works better. Hopefully it works with the newer sensor. I think it will. So these little screws are T8. I had to get in my tiny little Torx kit to make that work. Okay, I got it switched over. So I can put it in here. And the next thing I gotta do is put the needle back once I have the key on and it's in the cold position. Okay, my summit order came in and I've got the stuff that I need to get rid of the leak. And this is gonna make everything adjustable straight from the driver's seat. Okay, these are ready now. I hope this Tilton Master fits. Okay, for the third time, I think this is totally fixed. Alright, this is kind of my bad. I did the calculations on this defroster, 12 volt defroster, and it was going to pull like 65 amps. This is a China 800 watt deal. So what I'm going to do is cut it in half here and make this a 400 watt, which is 30 some amps. And I can use this old AC relay for that, no problem. All right, I got it all cut down, recentered where it's going to actually leave via the ducts here. I got it crimped, soldered, all that stuff, and should be in pretty good shape. So this 800 watt heater is now going to be a 400 watt and pull like 30 amps instead of 60. I took this old Beretta AC relay, pulled the pins out, moved them around so that they could actually fit. I'm running this stud right here with a 30 amp fuse going onto a bulkhead back here that I haven't put in yet. Fuse tap for 12 volt with switched ignition. So this should work all right for free. This is a decent little bulkhead kit. So this is the part I have on the firewall. I put 2 O-rings in here because this part's supposed to pilot through the middle of it, but that's the same thickness of the firewall itself. So that pilots in the firewall. And I've got my 2 O-rings in there to make sure they crush in real nice to make sure it's completely waterproof. Here we are on the firewall. Shouldn't really have any grounding risks there. Also insulated the stud here since I actually have a fuse in that spot now. Refine my horn button. Okay, cut out this flat piece of acrylic, and now I'm going to make it a bent piece of acrylic. I've used this little trick before where you engrave from the top side and then engrave out the back, so there's only like 10 thousandths in between. So there's my light source, and I have light coming through. So I'm going to stick a teal LED in there and we'll be all set. Oh, and here is going to be my new horn button too. All right, dash is in. Everything's all hooked up. But I'm going to light that fire before I do all the trim pieces and shit. Okay, kiddo, let's see if it starts. I think it should.
I think it should.
It should go brum. It's running! High five! Yeah! Oh! All right!
I love that.
The race car lives.
A race
I got my switches lit up, even though they're not focusing. There we go. All right, now that it's running, I'm going to test out these axles, make sure they don't vibrate. I got a video coming up on fixing those Moser axles that were freaking wrong. I'm also looking forward to trying out that poor man's two-step that I put in here. It's through Tuner Pro, HP Tuners, whatever you want to call it, with the truck PCM and a switch on the clutch pedal. So there'll be a how-to video on that, and we'll see how it works.